The Cult of Road 17, Part 1. The warning in the storm rain drops hit the windshield like little stones, making it hard for Logan to see as he drove down winding Road 17, surrounded by thick woods that seemed to close in around the car. The sky was too dark for the time. It was only 5 p.m., but it already looked like night. He turned up the windshield wiper speed and gripped the wheel tighter. He was coming back from visiting his mom in Nashville, cutting through less busy routes toward the small town where he grew up, Harwich, Tennessee. Road 17 was always avoided by locals. Too many stories, screams in the night, lights in the trees, people gone missing. But Logan never cared much about urban legends, at least not until that night. A rusty sign showed up on the right, almost hidden by branches. Road 17, drive carefully. He let out a nervous laugh. With this weather, only a fool drives carefully, he muttered. But then something crossed the road. Logan slammed on the brakes. Tires screeched. The car slid for a few meters, stopping sideways. His heart was pounding. What was that? Outside, through the fog and rain, he saw a figure standing by the road. Small, fragile, looked like a girl. She wore a soaked white dress, clinging to her thin body, barefoot, and she stared right at him. Logan rolled the window down a bit. "You okay? Need help?" The girl didn't answer. She just raised her arm and pointed ahead to the darkest part of the road. "Is someone hurt?" he asked, trying to see better. Then she spoke. "Go back." Her voice was almost drowned out by the rain, but he understood. A firm, clear whisper. "What?" "Go back, before you see what you shouldn't. Go back." And then she just turned and disappeared into the trees. Logan stood there for a few seconds, frozen. Then he got out of the car, shouted, tried to find any sign of her. Nothing. No footprints in the mud. No sounds besides the rain and wind. Heart racing, he got back in, started the engine and stared down the dark road ahead. He should have turned around right there. But he didn't. And everything started to fall apart from that moment on. Part 2. The abandoned cabin. The rain kept pouring. The steady sound of drops hitting the car roof was almost hypnotic. Logan was driving slow now, alert, his eyes scanning the surroundings for any sign of the girl. But it was like she was never there. The forest seemed thicker, the trees closer to the road. The GPS on the dashboard had lost signal minutes ago. No cell towers, no other cars, just him, the road, and the storm. Then something glowed between the trees on the left. Faint but clear, a flickering light like from a flashlight. Logan hesitated for a second, then turned the wheel and drove down a nearly invisible dirt path. The path led to a clearing where an old wooden cabin stood, partly hidden by overgrowth. A fallen shed beside it and a crooked fence covered in moss completed the scene. The light came from the cabin's window. Logan turned off the engine and stepped out. The smell of wet earth and rotting wood was strong. He approached carefully. The ground was muddy and slippery. With every step, the feeling of not being alone grew. He knocked on the door. Nothing. Knocked again, harder. "Hello? Is anyone there?" The light flickered, then went out. He tried the doorknob. It was unlocked. The door creaked as it opened. Inside was dark, but not completely. Some candles burned in corners. Old objects filled the shelves, glass jars with strange liquids, rag dolls, wooden carved symbols, and photos. Old black and white photos of people who looked like they didn't know they were being photographed. Logan stepped inside. The floor creaked under his feet. The feeling of being watched was almost physical. Then he heard a sound from the back of the cabin, something between a whisper and a moan. "Hello?" he called again, voice trembling a bit. More whispers, and a sound, light footsteps. Logan followed to a door at the back, slightly open. He pushed it slowly. A small room, a chair in the center, ropes on the floor, an open book on a table, and on the walls, symbols scratched with a knife, repeated many times, forming a pattern. But what caught his attention most was a photo pinned with a knife in the center of the wall. It was him, the same shirt he was wearing now, the same expression, like the photo was taken minutes ago. Logan's heart froze. He stepped back, stumbling on the doorframe. He ran to the front door, but when he opened it, the forest was different. The trees were closer, no clearing, no path, and where his car had been, nothing. The cabin had swallowed it. He turned, gasping, and saw the girl again. She was inside the cabin now, standing at the back door, looking at him, still wet, still silent. "What is this place?" Logan asked. She raised her hand and pointed to the wall beside the entrance. A symbol was scratched there with something like dried blood. Below it, a crooked word, "Witness." A chill ran down Logan's spine. He wasn't just a visitor here. He had been chosen. Part 3, Voices in the Rain. Logan ran. He didn't know if he was running towards something or away. All he knew was he had to get out of there. The forest was a maze of branches, roots, and shadows. The rain soaked everything, making every step a challenge, every tree a threatening figure. But there was something worse than the rain. The voices. They started as distant whispers, but soon became clear. They didn't come from any specific direction. They were everywhere, like the forest was speaking to him. "Logan, come back. You saw. Now you're one of us." He tripped and fell, breathing hard, hands and knees sinking into the cold mud. When he tried to get up, he noticed something on the ground in front of him, a necklace. It was the girl's necklace, the same one she wore in the car. But how? He turned and saw her again, standing in the middle of the trail, motionless. Now there was something different about her. Her eyes were completely black, her skin pale as wax. The dress, stuck to her body by the rain, showed dark marks on her arms, symbols just like the ones in the cabin. "What do you want?" he shouted. She just stared at him. Then she took a step forward, and then another, and reflexively Logan ran again. The forest seemed endless. The sounds around him grew louder, distant rituals, chants, bells, laughter, crying, all at once. Logan covered his ears, but the voices were now coming from inside his head. Logan. He remembered the book in the cabin, the ropes, the symbol. Witness. It wasn't just a title, it was a role, a sentence. He had seen what he shouldn't have. Finally, through the trees, he spotted a road, Route 17. He had returned to it. Or maybe he had never left, but the rain was now falling harder, like a curtain between him and reality. Across the road, headlights. A car was coming toward him. Logan ran to the middle of the lane, waving desperately. "Hey, help! Here, help me!" The car braked hard, tires skidding on the wet road. The door opened and a woman stepped out holding an umbrella. "My God, are you okay? What happened?" Logan tried to speak but was too out of breath. He looked around, hoping to see the girl come out of the forest. But she wasn't there anymore. Everything seemed calm. "Are you hurt?" the woman insisted. I saw a cabin and a girl. She was on the road and then she disappeared." The woman hesitated. Her eyes locked onto Logan's for a few seconds. "A girl? Here?" "Yes, I saw her. She went into the forest and there was a cabin. Photos. Symbols. A cult, I think. I swear I'm not crazy." She took a deep breath, as if weighing whether she should say what she knew. "You're the third person to tell me this month." Logan's eyes widened. "What?" She nodded. "They always describe a girl. They always talk about the cabin. But when we go back, there's nothing. Just forest." Logan looked back toward the woods. The rain was starting to let up. Who is she?" The woman answered in a low voice. "They say she died here, in an accident, in the 70s. But some say she wasn't just a victim, that she was part of something bigger, a cult, something old. and that it's still looking for witnesses. Logan stepped back, the words echoing in his mind. Witness. The woman opened the car door for him. "Come on, I'll take you to town. It's about 15 minutes from here." He hesitated for a second, then got in. The car pulled away down the road, but in the rearview mirror, Logan saw the image that would follow him forever. The girl, standing by the roadside, watching, smiling,